Unfortunately, this week I felt a bit sick, therefore I didn't record any videos on Tuesday, and our training session on Thursday got cancelled again, even though that would have been helpful to review few players with injuries going into QPR game, but the training got cancelled. In the beginning, I will overview the week, how it went, and what challenges I faced this week, and show a bit of footage of me preparing all the kit for the upcoming game, where a head coach was not involved. Let's go and see what past me had to go through this week. Oh dear, oh dear. Tuesday had a session, so this was based on speed, change of directions, and plyometrics, which I kind of enjoyed doing that, but delivering it wasn't pleasing experience. Again, we were quite short on numbers. We usually ended up having 12 players plus minus two. Depends if anyone is injured, how they're feeling, if all people turn up or no. So we usually ended up with 10, 12, maybe 14 players. But the intensity, the behavior, the attitude wasn't the best. So the whole session didn't feel really enjoyable from my point of view as well, because a lot of coaches was misbehaving and just not paying attention or not even putting some effort into what I plan, which is also kind of frustrating because that doesn't put us really good going into the weekend's game. And the game is quite big. We're playing at QPR, which is probably the toughest opponent in our league. Probably we and QPR are gonna compete for that first place and just winning that trophy. So hopefully everything gonna end up really well on the weekend and we're gonna win. The session wasn't the best. And also, it didn't help that the Thursday session was cancelled due to shortage of numbers. Again, we probably would end up having six players, which is not ideal. Had to go to work. Some of them are injured. So yeah, it ended up with only having six players. So coach decided just to cancel the training, which is again not ideal. But this is some of the challenges you face as a physio when you go to like tier threes or tier fours maybe or lower leagues. Obviously, in more like elite levels, you're not gonna find that. So yeah, these are kind of challenges you need to face. And also, it doesn't help that majority of our players are dual ranked, so that means they play for their college or university. So they also get very fatigued or injured from other side, like from college, which also doesn't help us in the long run as well. But talking on positive sides, so I went and covered the first team session on Wednesday, which I was really waiting, which I was like really excited for it, and I was waiting for like days because it's always nice to link up with the first squad because they're like my first love and Devs is more like a side chick to me, and it's always nice and fun to come back and see first team players to link up with them, chat with them, and just have a laugh. They are a good squad. They're really nice. Just talk around, mess about a bit, but also just put some work in. And it was my first time when I was able to lead an SNC, lead and warm up with them. I knew it's gonna end up being really good, and the quality and effort and everything. Attitude was really perfect, spot on, and I enjoyed every second of it. Obviously, a few mistakes were made for me because it's always the first time you do something. It's always a bit, it's not scary, but it's weird in one sense. So I was allowed to plan the session as I wanted, but there was like few things that the first team SNC coach wanted me to do. So it was like a based on accelerations, decelerations, and do some sprints. So we did more like an acceleration techniques and technical activation with the girls. Then we did a relay race and ended up with sprints, which also was challenged by one of the girls. So she had basically called me fat and slow, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take that personally. I said, okay, we're gonna race each other. So yeah, she decided we're gonna do 40-meter sprints at the very end, and I took the challenge. And yeah, unfortunately, I won, but it's all about having a bit of fun with the girls. It always helps in the team just to build up that atmosphere. And also, when like a coach joins the session, it's also engage them to do more. So yeah, it's always fun to do that. The probably hardest thing for me was to control the bigger squad. It wasn't really bad, but it was like different experience because I'm used to it to having 10, maybe 12 players, and on Wednesday I had 21 players, and overseeing them by myself was a bit weird and unusual. So I did kind of struggle with that, but moving forward, it was definitely a good experience just to see what it's like to be in a bigger group. But I think I managed that quite well. But obviously, some improvements could be made, and if other time I would have to do this, so it definitely would be better. One of my relay races was just to split them in two squads, and yeah, we were supposed to do two sets, but we ended up doing one because of how big of the squad is. So we had 10 players on one side and 11 on the other side. So yeah, by the time they finished, it took time. So I was like, okay, we just skipping that, doing only one set and just moving on technical activation because again, I only had 30 minutes. So I need to make sure that I fit in that time because I can get in trouble. Well, in trouble. But just like being professional and just sticking to those times. But yeah, I enjoyed that. And before that, we had a gym session where I just had to be in there just to make sure everyone is doing the program, knowing what they're doing. If there's any questions, they can ask me, and you can see how the gym looks right now. Yeah, I'm talking about tomorrow, Sunday. So we'll have a QPR. We're playing an away, not also good. We don't have a minibus because no one can drive. Me personally, I just had some really bad experience in the past with the minibuses when I traveled, when I played myself, and even traveling to Bridgewater. That was a bit, probably for first hour was a bit, I felt a bit anxious being in a bus because I kind of had a deja vu. So I'm not really good at driving those things. I'm like, oh, no, thank you. So that leaves me to just travel with my car. And because there was no 30 station, that means I need to make a stop to the ground tomorrow, pack all the things to my car, and then travel to London. Just not ideal, but this is the reality. And I'm going to show you how everything works, how things work when you don't have a bus. So you need to rely on your car, putting everything stuff in there. Just like I said, not ideal, but it is what it is. We move on, and I'm gonna show you that tomorrow with all the stuff, with all the packaging and everything. And for today, I'm going now to pack my things up, wake up tomorrow, leave, and go to the ground, pick all the stuff, and go all the way to the QPR, which I'll should be arriving there quite early, so I should be able to show a bit more of how everything works with the pitches, the changing rooms, and how we manage things up. So I'll try to show as much as I can, and then I'll catch you up all in tomorrow. So yeah, just arriving at the clubhouse. It's 9:30. Everything is going good by the plan. So I aim to be here at 9:30. So I would have around half an hour just to check all the equipment, pack all the stuff, because there's gonna be so much thing I need to squeeze in my car. So not looking for that. Not great. Um, I'm glad I just played Tetris a bit yesterday, so should be fine. But it's always not fun squeezing all the stuff in. Um, yeah, I just need to find the space as well. Yeah, I just need to lower my seats up, pack all the things, and just go straight up. So here we are at the club. I just need to park it as close as possible, so we need to walk too much. And once we're done there, just head to medical and should start packing things up. Okay, catch you in a second. So yeah, somehow managed to squeeze all the things up, which is cool. So yeah, if you have a few things in here, things there. I'll Seem nice and tidy. Can maybe zoom out, look a bit better. Tiny bit running out of time, but all in all, not too bad. Should still arrive on time. Yeah, hopefully everything will be fine. Um, See, I already packed all the things. 17 minutes past 10, just fine. Could be better. As you can see in the back. But yeah, it's about to move on. So 1 hour and 30 minutes to drive, and should be around 10 to 12, which is not ideal, but should be fine time wise. Obviously, need to set all the things up, prepare changing room. So our head coach is doing UFA B license, I think, today. So he's not there, just me and assistant coach. So there's more work for me to do, which is not ideal again, but somehow we'll manage it. So yeah, should be around just before 12, which usually needs some time just to set things up. Yeah, it's gonna be a busy day. It's not ideal, but this is the reality of life. And yeah, this is how we deal with the things. Obviously, first team has a game today as well, so they're playing home. Hopefully, they will do well. They're playing Middlesbrough. Hopefully, they're gonna win. Yeah. Yeah, I just need to not mess all the things up. One of the players yesterday messaged that she's not gonna play because of injury. Something's going on with her ankle or foot. So we are short with one player. It's again not ideal, but we got a substitute player, which she's gonna join us and hopefully do better. Uh, yeah, now let's crack on, and I'll get back to you when I arrive in QPR. I'm gonna show you bits. I'll try as much as I can. I know I'm gonna be busy, but probably not gonna show much. But I'll try as much as I can. So see you in a minute. Back from QPR game was a bit of journey and a bit of responsibilities with everything. And after the game, I had to go to the ground as well just to leave all the stuff away, which I packed. The head coach was waiting there, so I had to unpack. Came back home. I was also a bit late to the meeting, which just ended up, and I'm starting to recording now. I was late for about 10 minutes, but it's not a big deal. Just a quick recap of the game and how it all went up. Let's take a look at the game itself. So just before the game, two players reported issues pre-match, one with low back pain, another with ongoing quadriceps issues, which later was identified as a mild rectus femoris strain. The player with back pain completed the game despite symptoms, which is not ideal from management perspective and from medical perspective too. Overall, it wasn't our strongest performance. Four players didn't arrive to the game because of their focus on traveling to the States next week, which appeared to affect the overall preparation and mindset of those players. The warm-up was executed well by the majority of the squad. However, those four players was elsewhere in the mindset, did not perform at their highest level, which again is quite sad. And I'm trying to teach them the focus, the professionalism and responsibility of that. It's a working process, so I hope one day everything will be fine. Defensively, our backline delivered a very solid performance, which I was really pleased about it. Usually defensively, we don't really do really well. I think we did really good job in stopping them from scoring. I know they had some opportunities to score, but luck wasn't on their side. And defensively, I think it was quite solid performance. We typically struggle in this area, but in this match we were organized and resilient, which is quite promising. Offensively, however, we created very few scoring opportunities. There was one time I think the result was still 0-0. So the ball was just tossed over to the penalty box, and our wingback ran inside. And instead of stopping the ball, which ended up she being 1-on-1, she straight away shot it with the ball and missed the target, which is really unfortunate. And if we would have scored, the game would have went really different way. But that's how it's been this season. We are just not clinical in finishing, but also I think it's just about experience as well. In these kind of situations, girls just panic when they get the ball and they just can't deliver a good shot, a goal, which unfortunately led us to drawing this game. And aside from that, our second notable chance came from a corner where the ball dropped approximately 3 to 5 meters away from the goal. It was during the scramble, but none of our players reacted quickly enough to go in there, just push that ball. All they had to do is just like tap the ball in, and potentially the ball would just ended up in the goal. But majority of the players were just standing and just watching what's going on. Only one player tried to do something, whilst the opposite defenders, there was probably two, three, maybe four that tried to kick the ball away, which again show us how unprepared we came into this goal, and focus just literally wasn't there, unfortunately. The QPR controlled much of the possession and created several good chances to score, including one that hit post and the final opportunity in the closing moments, which was denied by our center back and goalkeeper altogether, which these two combined prevented that striker to score. So we ended up with the result 1-1, which is kind of like a win for us, in my opinion. And from physio perspective, that girl with the quadriceps issue was subbed out after about 20 minutes into the game. She just couldn't continue. The player with the lower back issue played throughout the game, like I mentioned before. And then there was one other player with probably 20, maybe 15 minutes left to the final whistle. She experienced lateral thigh pain, likely associated with IT band overload, potentially involving the TFL or ITB complex. That means all three players will require further review upon returning to training. However, most of them traveling to the States next week, meaning they are likely to continue playing through the injury, which is completely bad scenario from our club perspective, as those injuries will definitely not heal during their time in America when they're gonna play. That means they will come back still injured. I doubt it's gonna be better. It's probably gonna make it worse. I know sometimes miracles happen. We'll just have to see whether miracles did happen and whether those injuries heal by themselves. We'll have to see upon their return when we do some reviews. And as you could have seen in that last footage, where a final player sustained a knock during the last minute defensive action to prevent the goal, which I just briefly talked about it before. So she landed awkwardly on her back, and I think the striker will also landed on top of her, which caused her a bit of like hip pain. But in the same time, when keeper rushed it, I think with the knee she got tackled to the hip as well, which caused a bit of pain to the hip and lower back when she landed. She appeared stable after settling and was able to continue. So reported some post-game discomfort. Because there was left about 5 minutes, she continued to play. I know it's not ideal, but she wanted to continue and she felt quite okay with it. She was still in a bit of pain and discomfort, but knowing there are 5 minutes left, she wanted to carry on. And also we didn't have defenders available to be subbed in, so she just carried on, but nothing major happened after that. She is expected to recover well moving forward, and since she's not training with us or playing games with us, she will be need to seen by another physio where she trains. I think she's playing in uni, so she needs to see the physio there, and then they will figure out what they're gonna do with her. That's a quick wrap up of the game. Yeah, you could have seen some footage as well of our goals, and I'll catch you soon. So yeah, this is the weather right now. It's like raining and it's like 3 degrees now. It's cold. And there was like 3 of us today. And me taking goalkeeper, doing one-on-one. So I'm trying to pack some things as much as I can, but it's so cold and I can't see anything as well. Just not nice. Yeah, so what I need from here is definitely not to fall over. I need to take these I'm bringing back to my locker and bring it to depth container. And we need a ladder, which I can't see. There we go. We got ourselves a ladder. Probably get some hurdles as well, just for the keeper to train a bit. Just nothing too crazy. Don't think I need anything else in here. I will actually grab the ladder straight from here. So I will need to go back to the container once we're done. Just grab it from here. Should do it. Let's go. Yep, so we'll have that for the warm-up. Do stuff with a keeper. Should have been here already. It's supposed to be at 7 and now it's 1:15. Nice. Hi everyone, so just a quick overview for this week, which is going to be a bit tough since 9 players from Future Pro will be leaving to the tournament in America. So that will leave us with very small numbers are expected for this week in training. So basically on Tuesday, so I'll stay and do one-on-one session with the goalkeeper on Tuesday, while the gaffer works with the other 2 or 4 players, depends how many of them turn up. Since I'm recording this on Thursday just before my session, so there was only 3 players there, so I only stayed with the goalkeeper, and the gaffer took on those 2 players to stay one-on-one. And she also been struggling with her ankle. I did some assessments with her like pre-training. Just before the training session we will do mobs, so just like ankle mobilizations, so APs and PAs, so one of them just to see how she feels. On Tuesday it was a bit sore, so even doing very little movements with her ankle, it wasn't pleasing, so did a longer breaks in between. So she coming back today, we'll tend to do exactly the same thing like treatment wise, because as we did 2 sets on the third set, she said it's getting a bit better, so we'll hopefully that still continue to be a bit better moving forwards. So we'll see what we're gonna do with her. And on Tuesday it was a really good session with the keeper. She did well in all access, and I managed to help her improve her diving, which she struggled with. And the main focus is now just making those diving saves feel a bit natural for her. There have been few occasions, both in games and training, where she could have made a save, but she didn't dive. I don't think she's used to it, or she's maybe scared of it or something. So we need to overcome that and make sure she starts diving, because she did really good job on Tuesday and making some saves and just diving saves. Overall, though, she's progressing really well, so hopefully we'll continue that today as well. And today, so it's looking a semi-busy day. I'll be reviewing one player with lower back pain, which she struggled with from the Sunday's game, and she wasn't there on Tuesday, so I couldn't see her, but did message her, and she said today she's feeling better, but the last previous day she wasn't doing really well, which wasn't exciting. But since today she said she's feeling better, so that's really positive. When she come in for the treatments, I'm gonna see her and assess her lower back, see movement wise she's feeling okay, is it still sore, is it hurting, can she train or not. So we'll have to see that just before the training session. Another player just asked for a hamstring massage, which is like she's struggling a bit with the hamstring tightness, which is nothing too big, nothing too crazy. And obviously the goalkeeper is going to come in again and do some mobilizations of her ankle. Hopefully that will help again and just moving forward, and we'll see what the session is going to be like today. From an SNC perspective, I haven't planned anything specific for today. It's going to be looking similar to what was on Tuesday, so I'm just going to probably improvise, do on ball few drills with the girls. On Tuesday we did a quick dynamic warm-up, and then we went on a ladder drill. We spent about 7 minutes, and which I led, and other 3 girls follow me, so we had some fun in there. Obviously it was snowing, as you can see right now. Yeah, it was an interesting one, but I do enjoy being in snow. I remember in the school days, I used to go and kick the football with my classmates. It was like minus 20 degrees outside with snow and all, and we would still go on and just kick the ball. So I remember those days. Obviously, it wasn't too bad, and there was some ice in between my studs. Keep building up. It was a bit cold. My hands got a bit cold, and yeah, we had some fun. Obviously, I didn't take my phone just because I knew I'm gonna stay with the keeper, so I didn't want to take my phone and just keep it outside, just make it worse. So yeah, I have made some few shots after the trainings, which you can see right now me talking over it. Today will probably look similar if everyone is able to train. Most likely I'm going to join in this session as well, just to keep the numbers up. Yeah, so it's about time for me to leave. It's like 5 minutes to 5, and I'll catch you all in a few seconds. Actually, not really good that I'm late. It's 18:33 now. So not good. It's 18:33 now. Just not very good. The first player is supposed to be here at 6:50 in 20 minutes, and yeah, I just got it, which is really not good in, in preparation for today. Yeah, it's great. So we need to put some a bit of water, but don't have much time, so let's get going, and I'll catch you in a minute. Yes, our training is done. I had to step in as well to run around a bit. The weather is absolutely horrendous. It's like 4 degrees. Feels like I want to go home. And it's raining, it's windy, and it's hella cold. Yeah, I can't feel my hands, which is like freezing. But yeah, I need to go home. Oh, it's so cold. Next week, I will try to make more footage from the ground and the game, but sometimes I don't really have a minute or two just to make a video, as I have so much to do when I arrive on the ground. And also we'll start to show you more of planning and programming, where you could see what are the players going to work on in the following week. That leads us to the next week, which will be busier than normal with players returning from the America. So Tuesday and Thursday will be a lot of reviews to carry out prior to the session, as we had quite a lot of players injured going into that tournament. Stay tuned for the next week to receive updates on the players injury wise. Bye.